Yeah, okay, the biggest mistake in the world of menswear, that is a bit clickbaity, and I'm sorry about that. And is it actually the biggest mistake? I think Crocs are actually the biggest mistake, and anything Crocs related are the biggest mistake you can make in menswear. But you could say that this runs adjacent to that. So, yeah, the biggest mistake in the world of menswear and how to avoid it. The biggest mistake that I see guys making when it comes to menswear, or indeed anything style related, and yeah, I mean, fuck, I will shout myself out for this. I make this mistake all the time, and that is buying pieces. We're into fashion now, we call them pieces. Not clothes, not garments, maybe Johns. Anyway, it's getting pieces that are completely out of context for you and for your style. And yeah, this is so fucking difficult to navigate. The thing is, I'm all for people trying something new, for dipping their toes into a new style pool, for maybe finding that one thing that's going to become their thing. It's a case of like, okay, if you don't try, you're never going to know. But at times, that piece, whatever it might be, is just so out of context for you, for your surroundings, for your lifestyle, that it's just never going to work. And the tough thing is that you're just never going to know unless you've made a couple, or in my case, more than a couple of these good, bad decisions. Here are my last 3 good, bad decisions. A pair of White's Packers, a pair of Oslo tie-dye jeans, and these Our Legacy Cuban boots. All 3 of these are amazing pieces of clothing, or amazing pieces of footwear, amazing pairs of footwear. Anyway, all 3 are amazing pieces. I mean, these Oslo tie-dye jeans, I mean, like, with that 105 fit, with this denim, with the tie-dye, they're incredible. Like, really, I love these jeans, but just totally impossible for me to wear. I'm almost 40, I wear shoes, I'm not into raves, and I don't have a substance abuse problem, or I don't have that bad of a substance abuse problem. So that just means that these are completely out of context for me. I mean, I got them because they were just something so different in this little sort of niche world of denim that we live in, and I do think that's something that's very important. I just went completely wide of the mark with these. I mean, I've never worn them. They still have the tags on them, and I can't imagine a circumstance that I can make these work, that I would be able to wear them. They're just completely out of context. And then there's the Packers. I think out of all 3 of these pieces, these are the ones that I really wish I could somehow find a way to make them work. They are just such a beautifully made thing. I mean, they're just like, there's something about something that shows this level of craftsmanship that I really gravitate to. But I can't see how to make them work. I'd seen a few guys making these work on the Instagrams, and I really thought, like, in my mind's eye, I thought, okay, these are going to be great with maybe like a crop pair of straights, or maybe even like a longer pair of slim straights. I thought these were really going to work for me. I mean, they were working for these other guys, and our styles were kind of similar, but our lifestyles weren't anywhere close to each other. These other dudes, I mean, one is like a 3rd generation journeyman carpenter. The other one seems to build motorbikes with his teeth, and the other one spends most of his time carrying around an axe in the woods. So that's very far away from my urbanite life that I'm living in Berlin. So yeah, you can say style-wise, there was a bit of crossover, there was a bit of context there. But lifestyle-wise, like, really not at all. And then there are these, Our Legacy Cuban boots. And these, again, this is a beautiful pair of boots, really. And they are the perfect pair of boots for somebody who is much cooler than me. Out of all 3 of these items, these are the ones that I really tried to make work. I tried to grow my style into these boots. And in fact, these are the inspiration for this video. You see, I was talking to Daniel. Daniel is this guy. Yeah, I was talking to Daniel. He's like my best mate, my business partner. And believe me, he knows a thing or two about style. He understands it much more intrinsically than I think I ever will. And being my best mate and my business partner, he has had to endure some of the more context-less style experiments that I've undertaken. And these have become known affectionately as the yellow boots. And they have become a metaphor for all of these little forays off into the world of menswear. Basically a blanket term for all the things that I shouldn't try. But as we were talking, I mean, he admitted these are a beautiful pair of boots. These are a lovely piece. But from the moment that they popped up on my radar to that like itch that just starts when you're like, I kind of really have to have these, to that moment that I hit the order button, I only saw them as an individual item, a single piece. I didn't see them in any kind of context in either my wardrobe, my style, or my lifestyle. And so I was never ever comfortable wearing them, and I think this showed. I mean, I'm being serious. I do not think I am cool enough to wear this pair of boots. There will be a dude out there that you look at wearing these, and you'll look at him and just be like, yes, he looks cool. You will see the boots in the context of his outfit. I mean, for sure, that's something that's very, very important. But it's the air that the guy has that means that these boots are working for him. It's not the piece itself. And when it's a particular piece like this, I mean, certainly in my case, I was working for the boots. They weren't working for me. And that just simply doesn't work. So, how do you avoid this? Well, in a way you shouldn't. I think that part of the process of developing style, or more should I say, like developing a wardrobe. I think developing style comes out of developing a wardrobe. I'd say for me at this point, I have got what's a burgeoning, respectable wardrobe. And hopefully, like, afterwards, style's gonna come. And on this journey, I think these little, like, forays into new sartorial territories, I think they're very important. And those are gonna come with mistakes, but perhaps the mistakes are not an essential part of this. But it seems like making mistakes is an essential part of making videos, at least for me. Apparently batteries don't like plus 30 degrees heat, and it just died on me. I recorded the end of that video, like the whole last, I don't know, however many minutes, however many takes. I recorded it all without sound, so let's try this again, shall we? Okay, where, got there dirty. Right, where was I? Right decisions, context, yeah, okay, blah, blah, blah. Forays into sartorial style, I don't think they're essential. Okay, as I was saying, I don't think that these mistakes have to be essential. I mean, for the very basic thing is that experimenting and making these mistakes, it can be very, very expensive. Paying good money for something is very important, especially if it's something that's really going to add value into your life, add value into your wardrobe. But paying good money for something that's just going to sit on the shelf, that is not such a good plan. It's not the best way ahead. But then again, staying in your lane, that also really doesn't work. I mean, if that's the route that I'd gone down, I'd still be wearing bootcut FC UK jeans. Do you guys remember FC UK? Like French Connection UK? Is that even still a thing? Anyway, they were absolutely hideous. They were horrible. But I'd be still wearing those along with like ironic logo tees. Like, it's super, super important that you shift, that you try things out, that you experiment a little bit. But if you're a little bit smart about it, then you can avoid the costly mistakes. And the longer that I spend in this world of menswear, the longer I spend studying the guys that I look up to, that I want to emulate a certain aspect of their style, I start to see that they do try things out, they do experiment, they do jump every now and again. They experiment with trends, they experiment in and out of seasonals, both like fashion seasons and literal seasons. If we milk this lane metaphor a little bit more, these guys, they do shift lanes, but they shift one, maximum two at a time. And the guys that are really good at it, Actually, they weave in and out of traffic like a German Audi driver. I mean, if these jeans here, my tie-dyed Orslos, if these were a lane shift, these would be me swerving over 3 lanes of traffic, fucking it over the central reservation into oncoming traffic. Fireballs, death, destruction. And actually, just thinking about it, maybe the latest thing that I put some money down for, maybe that is a good example of what I'm talking about. So loafers. Loafers are a thing now. In this post-sneaker world we're living in, it's filtered down through the guys that really know what they're talking about, to the influencer dudes that kind of know what they're talking about, to me. And through this process of osmosis, I came to thinking like, I really want a pair of loafers, so I bought a pair of loafers. I go online, I have a poke around, I find this pair from one of my most preferred, one of my favorite shoe brands, Trickers. I mean, Trickers are amazing and they seem to really, really fit my feet perfectly. I find this pair in my size for a very friendly price and think, okay, it's meant to be, right? Well, as it turns out, not really, no. These are an amazing pair of shoes. They're a beautiful pair of loafers. And I think the loafers are going to be an amazing addition to my wardrobe. Just not these ones. This style is just a little bit too far away from the lane that I'm in just now. I still think that the right pair of loafers are going to be an amazing addition to my wardrobe, and I still really do want to get a pair, but these were a step too far. So I just reined it in a little bit. I went for these ones. I don't actually have them yet, I just ordered them the other day, but I went for a pair of penny loafers over a pair of tassel loafers. Now, I do really still think that there is a place in some man's wardrobe, maybe my wardrobe in the future. I still think there's a place for these shoes, but not right now. I think the pair of penny loafers, they're a little bit less, they're less fancy, less ostentatious. They're much more in line with the garments and my style that I have at the moment. Maybe one day I'll graduate to these, you never know. But for now, it's just a little bit too far. The penny loafers are going to be much, much more in keeping with my style, with my wardrobe. I'm still pushing a little bit of my boundaries, but not so far that it doesn't work for me as a person or my wardrobe as it stands at the moment. Okay, I've been waffling on about this for far too long. I mean, basically what I want to say is this. If you have your eye on something in particular, something that's going to be a little bit of a punt for you style-wise, take that item, whatever it might be, and try to bring it into context. Try to see it in context with your lifestyle, with the garments you have at the moment, with how you feel comfortable. And if you do see it in that context and it's a little bit of a stretch, maybe look at something that is in the same vein, but not quite as far. And even then, you have to ask yourself, does this work? And really try to give yourself an honest, forthright answer. In the end, that's going to save you some time, some money, and looking like a prat. Right, having said all that, I should probably go and get these up on Grailed. Let them move on to somebody who's much more stylish, much more sartorically inclined than I am. And I think they're going to find a good home. They're just, I'm a little bit gutted that these didn't work for me because they are such a beautiful pair of shoes. But anyway, yeah, I'm being honest with myself. I'm not stylish enough to wear those shoes. So yeah, if you're into them, then I've put a link down below to my Grail page. There's actually quite a few things up there just now. I'm having a bit of a clear out, so check that out if you're interested. And yeah, when you're on your way down there, you're going to be passing the like button, you're going to be passing the subscribe button. Guys, if you're into menswear, if you're into well-made products, then that's pretty much all I talk about on this channel. So if you're into that, then consider hitting that subscribe button. If you've enjoyed all of my waffling today, if you feel it brought you something, that'd be amazing if you give us a thumbs up. It does really help out the channel and it's very, very much appreciated. And that just leaves me to say, hopefully this time with sound. Guys, I hope everyone is happy and healthy out there. I hope you're taking care of yourselves. I hope you're taking care of each other, and I'm going to see you in the next video.